Why do you want General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the CDF, to be the president?
Let me tell you, the opposition in Uganda has been extremely radicalized and it has alienated the vast majority of Ugandans. So Bobi Wine and Western and Fires, the new party Fires, are such rancorous political parties or political movements that they have alienated the vast majority of Ugandans. Those people who are alienated are looking for him now. Museveni's corruption and incompetence has also alienated many people. So those people are looking for an alternative. That alternative, they find it more.
Well, the Leaders Podcast, People, Purpose and Progress, with me, Simon Chris Makanga. If it's your very first time here, go ahead and subscribe, like, and also towards the end of this conversation, you can give us a candid comment. Today's conversation is going to be quite amazing. I am hosting a comrade in the media, and he's a veteran journalist in the print, radio, and television, Mr. Andrew Mwenda. It's a pleasure to have you on the Leaders Podcast.
Thank you.
And I don't take this lightly. I understand you're a very busy man. I've seen you disagree with a couple of people on TV, and I'm wondering, how would you deal with the people that you don't agree with?
Actually, most of them I discuss with are people that I don't agree with. I was raised in a family where diversity of views was a treasured aspect of our very being and existence. So by my upbringing, I am a liberal by upbringing. A liberal is a person who believes in diversity of ideas. Even when we started this newspaper, the aim was to create a platform where ideas of different shades can compete. So that is it. Maybe you have seen me yelling at some people. Those people are not there to discuss ideas. There are some people, I think one time it was Semuju, the other time it was a man called Mawodo, something like that. Those ones, I don't debate with them. I yell at them because they like yelling. And me, I'm a good Christian. Have you read your Bible very well? You should read 1 Corinthians, I think chapter 5 or something, where in Paul's first letter to Corinthians, he says, when I was with the Greeks, I ate and drank like the Greeks. When I was with the Jews, I dressed and danced like the Jews. And when I was with the Romans, I slaved and reigned like the Romans. So when I'm with border borders, I act like a border person. When I am with the goat herders, I act like a goat herder. When I'm with intellectuals, I act like an intellectual. I don't believe that anybody has a monopoly of nuisance. So if you want me to maximize my nuisance value, take me to a shouting match. If you want me to maximize my intellectual value, take me to an intellectual debate. I fit everywhere.
Wow. Allow me speak to you when you're little, and allow me take you back. Is there a memory of you that speaks to who you are today, when you were young?
Yes, of course.
What was that?
I grew up in a home where dinner was a platform where people of different shades of opinion. My dad was a member of the Uganda People's Congress. His contemporaries were UPM and DP. They would come and sit with most of my family members. My mom was UPM, my elder brothers were UPM, few were UPC, my elder sister was DP. So we were a diversity of political orientations, and I grew up in that environment that the political debate did not mean personal differences. And debate was conducted at a very high level because we had a large library, so if you made an argument, it could be reference to a book, a statistic or something. If you see me on television, if I argue something, I'll have a large base of knowledge, whether it could be statistics, historical evidence, whatever, that I will bring to bear on my argument. In other words, I engage in informed opinion. I don't indulge in the speculation. I do very little speculation. And if I have to speculate about something based on some historical facts. And I get frustrated by many Ugandans when I appear with them on TV. They are not informed about the present, the past, and therefore they can make no argument about the future. So they indulge in a lot of emotional speculation.
So you also end up shouting?
No. Actually, 99% of my appearances on TV, there is no shouting. But when people want a shouting match, I give it to them. Yes, and I'm damn good at it.
Wow. Well, Mr.
I give what I'm given. So if you punch my nose, I punch your nose. That's what I believe.
If you come with your thoughts well sharpened,
we will discuss.
If you
want to have a comfortable debate, no interruptions, no nothing, I'll give it to you. If you come and say you will not allow me to speak and begin interrupting me, I'll give you a shouting match as well. I treat people the way they treat me. And I don't mind what anybody else thinks. It's my philosophy of, if you are, this is what I was telling you, one day I was on TV discussing these messenger tapes. where Messi was planning to murder Museveni. And they said if I was Museveni's shoes, I would have murdered him. You can't plan to murder me and then me I take you to due process. What the fuck is that? I don't believe in due process. If you believe in due process, I will believe in due process. You don't believe in it. If you believe in the law of the jungle, I will play the law of the jungle.
Allow me sit at your feet together with the people who are going to be watching this and tap a little more to your school of thoughts. Mr. Andrew Mwenda, I've been having conversations with a couple of leaders in this country, and I'm wondering, we are preparing for the elections come January 2026. Everyone reads the history of this country, that we've never had a peaceful transfer of power in this country. As we are going into this election, and I want to tap into your expertise as a leader in this country, what do you see the transition, how is it going to be, in case it's going to happen?
So let me first dissuade you from so many of the assumptions Ugandans have. First, it is very good if you can have a peaceful transfer of power. Whether it can bring us to a better place or not, I don't know. So I want to dissuade you. It's not true that simply because one leader organizes a peaceful transition, then there will always be peaceful transition. That precedent can hold. Politics is not that deterministic. I'll give you a very good example. The first country in Africa to have a multi-party political transition where a sitting president was defeated in an election and handed over power to his opponent was a country called Somalia in 1967. 2 years later, there was a military coup, a military government for a very long time, and the collapse of the state. Long before Somalia, there is a country in Africa called Liberia. From 1840 when it was created, it had an American system of government, multi-party competition. There were a transfer of leaders. If I'm not mistaken, from the first president to the overthrow of William Tolbert in 1980, there could have been about 30 presidents in between. There was a peaceful transfer of power. Liberia finally collapsed in the 1990s. In 1980, there was a coup. After that coup, there was a civil war, and the country almost fell apart. It was revived, I think, in the 2000s. Right? So it is not true that simply because Museveni hands over power today, the government that will come in automatically will be better, or the country will remain stable. It's not true. The people who say that are speaking religion. I'm not a religious person, so I don't believe in deterministic things that God determined this and this. Politics is unpredictable. However, I want to emphasize that I would prefer that Museveni hands over power. He organizes the transition inside NRM and inside the country. It would be a good thing. Then we can try new people. Certainly, I would not favor Noob or defiance of Besigye coming to power. I find them intolerant, extremist, uncouth, and palatable.
We'll speak to them a little bit.
So to that degree, theoretically, I would prefer a transition. Mr. Museveni, if you're watching, please, I beg you, find a way to retire. You are 80 now. Why don't you go and rest? You've been in power for 40 years. It's enough.
So you speak for PLU, the Patriotic League of Uganda. Why do you want General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the CDF, to be the president?
Let me tell you, the opposition in Uganda has been extremely radicalized, and it has alienated the vast majority of Ugandans. So Bobi Wine and Besigye and Fires, the new party Fires, are such rancorous political parties or political movements that they have alienated the vast majority of Ugandans. Those people who are alienated are looking for him now. Museveni's corruption and incompetence has also alienated many people. So those people are looking for an alternative. That alternative, they find it more.
So where does that leave our democracy? When the people hear you speak like this, General Muhoozi could come for presidency. With the seat his t-shirts being printed on the street, what response do you expect from the public?
So what has that got to do with democracy at all? Where does it go? How does that? What does that go to with our democracy?
I think for anyone who wants to be president must appear on the ballot, as stipulated by.
Running for president. The fact that people want to run for president does not necessarily mean that you have accepted and you appear on the ballot, does it? There are many people who may want Andrew Mwenda to be president, but I'm not on the ballot. There are many people who may want Katumba Omala to be on the ballot. He's not on it. He's not running.
Let's flash light into our democracy in this country. You're one person that I've had a couple of times. You said Africa should stand for Africa. African problems must be sorted by Africans. I've heard you say these conversations a couple of times, and I'm always intrigued because I love such conversations, because I believe that in every problem, there should be a seed of a solution within that same problem. Then that's the reason as to why we Africans must find solutions to our own problems. Let's speak to the democracy here in Uganda. For how long are we going to be governed like this? To a point where I look at you, you come from NRM, I come from NUP, and there are boundaries between us. But at the end of the day, we are all Ugandans. Until how long shall we have to live and be governed like this?
But you must choose the system of government that you want as Ugandans. If you want to have democracy, do you know what democracy is?